Ito ang balita ngayon, trending at pinag-uusapan ngayon sa mundo ng social media. Ang di umano'y balitang tila isa na namang baho ang pilit umaalingasaw matapos umamin sa publiko ni Pangulong Marcos na ubos na ang pondo ng quick response. Senado at Senator Joel Villanueva kumilos na at tila ginimbal ang palasyo at kongreso. Binasag na ang katahimikan at katotohanan, hindi man direktang pinangalanan, ngunit tila sa lang Marcos administration at ilang buhayang mambabatas sa Kongreso sa matinding revelasyon patungkol sa pondo at tinatagong baho di umano ng kasulukuyang gobyerno ngayon. Kaya tanong ng taong bayan, bilyong-bilyong pondo ng pamahalaan lalo na sa flood control, saan nga ba napunta? Pero bago ang lahat, kung bago ka pa lamang sa aming channel, please huwag kalimutang mag-like, subscribe at i-click ang notification bell para mas maging updated ka pa lalo sa lahat pa ng bagong video na i-upload namin. At eto na nga mga kababayan, tila maluha ang marami sa ating mga kababayan sa nakakagimbal na revelasyon ng senador na si Joel Villanueva. Sa isang pagdinig ng Senado, isiniwalat nito sa publiko na walang natatapos ang gobyerno sa mga proyektong ipinangako nila sa sambayanang Pilipino. Hindi man raw direktang pinangalanan, ngunit tila sa sa katotohanan sa naging pahayag ng veteran senador. Hindi lamang ang Pangulong Marcos kundi maging ang mga inupo nitong kurap di umano na magpasa hanggang ngayon ay nakaupo pa rin sa pwesto. At bukod nga raw sa bilyong-bilyong budget per day na ibinibigay dito para ponduhan hindi lamang ang DPWH kundi maging ang ibang ahensya ng gobyerno, hindi nga raw halos mapakinabangan ng sambayanang Pilipino ang mga proyektong pinupunduhan ng pera ng taong bayan. Ayon pa sa ilan nating mga kababayan, labis nga raw na nakakadismaya na mas pinagtuunan pansin ng administrasyon ngayon ang kabibigay ng ayuda at ang mga anli na pagdinig na di umano'y pamumulitika lamang. Ngunit ang totoong pangangailangan ng taong bayan katulad ng trabaho, proteksyon, mga proyektong dapat sana'y lubos na mapakinabangan sa magaang pamumuhay ng sambayanang Pilipino ay para lamang daw isang bula na bigla na lamang naglaho. Hindi na nga raw magtataka ang ibang senador katulad ni Senator Joel Villanueva kung patuloy na ikakatwira ni PBBM na ubos na raw ang pondo dahil sa mga di umano'y mga buayang nakaupo sa pwesto sa pamahalaan na tila nagbubulsa ng pera ng taong bayan. Tila lantaran ng araw ang korupsyon sa pamahalaan dahil hindi man lang raw sinasaway ng ilang opisyal ng gobyerno na inihalal ng taong bayan sa paniniwalang sila ay mga matatapang sa pagpuksa ng mga kurap. Ituloy mapigilan ng taong bayan na hanapin ang TV host, broadcaster, turning senator na si Raffy Tulfo na tila nooy pinaniwalaan ng taong bayan na siya ay matapang at kakampi ng taong bayan, ngunit ngayong nasa pwesto na at kahit lantara na di umano ang pangungurakot ng kapwa niya opisyal sa gobyerno ay tila bigla na lamang itong nanahimik sa isang sulok. Narito ang naging pasabog na revelasyon ng senator na si Joel Villanueva na kung saan tila matapang na binanatan ang mga ilang opisyal ng pamahalaan. Hindi nga raw dapat magtaka kung naubos na ang pondo dahil tila naibulsa na nga raw ito ng mga ganid na politikong nakaupo sa pwesto.
Statements being answered by our distinguished colleague, the chairperson of the Senate Committee on Finance, na ang sentro ng ating pamahalaan ay to build more, yung paggamit at paggasta natin nakalaan sa mga infrastructure projects natin. And tayo po dito sa Senado, nag-hearing po tayo ilang beses, lalong-lalo na nung nagkaroon ng matinding pagbaha, hindi lamang sa Bulacan kundi sa ibang parte ng ating bansa. Mr. President, I have been saying this for quite some time na ang budget ng ating pamahalaan for flood control alone, kasama ang DPWH, MMDA, Climate Change Commission, DENR, etc., ay tumataginting na 1,444,000,000 a day. So, gusto nating may check at malaman kung saan ba ito napupunta. Noong pong nagkaroon ng pagdinig ang committee ni Senator Bong Revilla, napag-alaman po natin mismo sa ating secretary ng Department of Public Works and Highways, and I will go to this later on. Merong 74 infrastructure flagship projects according to DPWH. Ito rin po yung nasa NEDA. 13 of them were tagged as water resources projects and have indications that they are used for flood control and mitigation. Pero tinitingnan ko po itong mga big ticket items, no, Mr. President, especially itong mga foreign assisted projects. Again, during our hearing dito sa Senado, it was highlighted that we need foreign assisted projects because they are the big ticket items that contribute to long-term flood mitigation. Yun po yung lumabas doon sa pagdinig. An example would be the Metro Manila Flood Control Project funded by the World Bank. Pero kung titingnan po natin itong mga foreign assisted projects budget ng DPWH, ang lumabas po dun sa pagdinig, napakaliit o mas maliit ito kumpara sa small ticket projects. Kaya ang lumabas nga po dun sa pagdinig, patsi-patsi yung mga proyekto. Patsi-patsi yung naging project. And Senator Amy Marcos would also attest to this because she was there during that hearing. Why don't we invest, Mr. President, more in big ticket flood control projects? Kasi yun po yung lumabas nitong pagdinig, no? Lumabas po na for the past 3 years, we spent over 500 billion pesos for the flood control program, but we only allocated 25 billion for the foreign assisted programs. Now in 2024, FAPs are in the unprogrammed, Mr. President, itong 2024. So in the last 3 years, I'm looking at the data, we have only allocated 3.8 billion for the foreign assisted projects, which represents only 0.7% of the total flood management program of the DPWH. Kaya masakit to isipin, Mr. President, especially coming from a province like Bulacan, na taon-taon ho, binabanggit ho natin, ito yung flood control project, ito yung napupunta sa aming rehiyon. Yun nga pong nakaraan doon sa Bicol region, mismo ang ating Senate President wanted to look into this because the past 2 years ay 60 billion plus yung naka-lodge doon sa flood control projects. Pero pag tinignan po natin at gaya nung nakaraang pagdinig sa DPWH, sinasabi po nila yung mga small items ang napagbigyan, hindi yung big items. Again, Mr. President, it only represents 0.7% of the total flood management program ng DPWH, yung foreign assisted itong FMPs, Mr. President, ng DPWH, Mr. President, doon sa foreign assisted project. So, may we know, Mr. President, why we are not investing more in big ticket flood control projects na makikita natin talaga yung pong prutas ng ating labor at investment. Thank you, Mr. President.
Actually, I agree. There should really be a national plan as to the all these waterways and general engineering projects. We just approved yesterday 2 major projects for the flooding control, and that's in Marikina.
57 billion.
57 billion itong sa Marikina, and Cavite 30 billion.
I'm sorry, Mr. President, in Cavite and Marikina, with yung Las Piñas daw, wala?
JICA funded.
Yung Cavite, Mr. President, how much? And sa Marikina, sorry.
Marikina 60 billion, 30 billion, and then in Cavite magkano? Cavite 20 billion. 20.
There's an existing project, but we are adding 27 billion to address the issue of resilient.
Okay, so there are existing projects in Cavite, but we're adding 27 billion more for flood mitigation. Hindi kaya magkagulo yung mga ibang...
It's to improve the design.
To improve the design, okay. So this is the JICA project. This is for Cavite. Now, in Marikina, additional din yan.
57.
25 billion additional.
Mr. President,
25 billion additional sa Marikina.
I'm willing to wait for the total number of projects that have been approved recently plus the figures. I'm more than willing to wait for it, Mr. President. My only point, Mr. President, is that if you look at this figure, Mr. President, 0.7% lang ng ginagastos natin na 1.44 billion pesos a day ang napupunta doon sa foreign assisted project na kinukonsider natin na big item projects, Mr. President. Mr. President, let me go to another issue on multipurpose water infrastructure. As I mentioned a while ago, the DPWH has 74 infrastructure flagship projects according to the NEDA. Yun po yung ni-report sa atin.
Actually, Mr. President, just a correction, it's 186 flagship project.
186. No, but these are water infrastructure.
Water
yung sa
structures,
74.
okay,
Opo.
74.
And 13 of this 13 lang yung sa water resources projects, if I'm not mistaken, and have indications that they are used for flood control and mitigation. If I'm correct, Mr. President, please correct me if I'm wrong. That's correct, right? 13 of these are tagged as water resources. Karamihan po sa mga ito, Mr. President, may connection sa flood mitigation o flood control. May we know, Mr. President, alin sa mga proyektong ito ang may iba pang gamit, kagaya po ng irigasyon, kuryente, industrial at iba pa, Mr. President, mula po dito sa 13 water resources projects?
Power.
Yeah.
Irrigation, power, industrial.
Actually, the one in Iloilo, always Halur, yeah, the great province of Iloilo. Multi-purpose po yan, yung dam nila.
Nautusan po ako ng principal. Hingi daw lang po ako ng report at bigyan ko ng kopya ang bawat isa. So, if that is possible.
Of course. So, yun nga, yung example nga doon, yung dam doon, for irrigation, for power, diba? So, at saka water supply for households.
Sige po, para mas mapadali, hintayin na lang po namin, Mr. President. Ayan po yung ang gusto ko sana nating malaman, Mr. President, from this list na 13, ilan po dito yung mayroong component ng may iba pang gamit, gaya po ng irigasyon, kuryente, industrial at iba pa mula po dito sa 13 na ito. And I will give a copy to our principal, Senator Villar.
Thank you.
Guriin na lang po yung ihintayin ko po, no, yung ilan dito sa mga proyekto yung may iba pa pong gamit. One last thing, Mr. President, gusto kong itanong, Mr. President, kasi pinag-usapan po natin yung flood foreign assisted projects. Inisa-isa ko yung mga saro nitong mga nakaraang araw. Parang 800 pages po yun, Mr. President. At napag-alaman ko po, for example, ito po sa flood mitigation related FAPs na pinondohan under the unprogrammed funds. Gusto natin malaman ano yung details nitong mga foreign assisted projects that have been allotted additional funds under the latest Special Allotment Release Order or SARO for DPWH. Kasi if I may show you a slide, Mr. President, ito po yung narilisan ng unprogrammed funds, no, dito sa ating mga flood foreign assisted projects. So makita po natin dyan, for example, nung June 6, yung SARO BMBA 24004246. Yan po, June 6 of 2024. Nakalagay po dyan, to cover the first and second quarter GOP counterpart requirements of the Panay Guimaras Negros Island Bridges project. Yung SARO BMBA 2400148804 as of September 17, 2024, 201 million. Kinover po niya yung loan proceeds requirement for the implementation of the Metro Manila Bridges Project, ADB loan po ito. At yung September 17, 2024, na nagkakalagang 153.436 million, SARO number BMBA 2400148802, ay kino-cover naman po nito yung third and fourth quarter na GOP counterpart requirements ng Panay Island Bridges Project. Ito pong dalawa na nasa itaas at nasa ibaba, 10 billion po at 11 billion. Pero dito po, wala hong nakalagay. Ang nakalagay lang po to cover the first and second quarter counterpart requirements of various foreign assisted projects. Saan po ito, Mr. President? At ano yung description to? Bakit wala po dito, Mr. President?
That's a very good question. Even I'm curious. Let me wait for the explanation of the DBM.
Sorry. Oh, yeah. Of course.
Nakuha niyo yung SARO number, di submit niyo.
Can we just submit that also to the here?
Yeah, Mr. President, I don't mind na mai-submit, Mr. President, but may we just be enlightened whether or not these funds that were released under unprogrammed funds ay parte ng foreign assisted project na tumutukoy sa problema natin sa pagbaha o ito'y parte ng flood control project, Mr. President.
Mr. President, what I have initially here, for example, is the Davao Bypass Construction Package, JICA PH 273. Meron din ditong Philippines-Korea Project Preparation, Output of Roads and Bridges, Dalton Pass Alignment, JICA. So, ito lahat yung...
But it's not flood control, Mr. President. I just wanted to focus on the
floodway
flood control
bridges construction.
because, Mr. President, the premise of this question lies on the fact that the flood control programs, the big ticket items, were placed under unprogrammed. Yun yung basis nitong question na ito, Mr. President. That's why we are wanting na to see itong breakdown. But it's okay, Mr. President. I will wait for it as a lot of our colleagues are also interested in looking for this list. And I will no longer belabor the question, Mr. President. I will just wait for the submission, Mr. President, to find out yung tinatanong natin, yung details ng tinatanong po natin. And
Meron mga integrated disaster risk reduction adaptations na kasama may mga water projects, but
ma'am, is it part of the 10 billion or the 11 billion?
actually it's part of a bigger pie. So I think that DBM.
So it's more than the figures that we are showing.
I don't think we are directly asking answering your question. To be honest, and I think this is something that DBM has to clarify because the total 11 billion and 10 billion, parang hindi ko nakikita dito exactly. So I don't know if they're lumped
I guess
together.
that's the reason, Mr. President.
Oo.
That's the reason why I flash on screen the number of SARO, Mr. President.
Meron ditong 11,709. Yan ba yon? Hindi iba rin
Mhm.
So,
Anyway, Mr. President, we'll wait for the list, Mr. President. We're willing to wait, and again, the premise of this representation's question is based on the fact that big ticket items that were supposed to address the problem of flooding in the country were placed under unprogrammed, Mr. President. So I hope that we can do something about it kasi mahirap umuwi ng Bulacan tuwing umuulan at bumabaha. At tingin ko yung mga kababayan natin ayaw na po ng relief goods, Mr. President. Ang gusto nila talaga solusyon. Kaya salamat po, Mr. President. That would be my last question. And I'd like to thank our distinguished colleague, the chairperson of the Senate Committee on Finance, for patiently answering these representations questions. Maraming salamat, Ginoong Pangulo. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Villanueva. Thank you, Senator Grace. Majority Leader.
Mr. President, next to interpolate would be Senator Amy Marcos.
Senator Amy Marcos, Super Ate is recognized.
I consumisyon. Yes, thank you very much, Mr. President, and the good chairwoman of the Finance Committee of the Senate. My first query would be that given that inflation for October was recorded at 2.3, well within the desired 2.4 target band of the BSP, rice inflation nevertheless accelerated from 5.7 to 9.6 the previous month, despite the implementation of the lower rice tariffs from 35 to 15% August 2024. So, when will the NEDA board conduct its review of the rice tariff under the Comprehensive Tariff Program for 2024 to 2028? Given that clearly the rice inflation, headline inflation continues at record pace. We're already at 15%, ibabagsak pa natin sa zero po.
Okay. They are going to submit to the president within the end of the month the report on the effects of that EO and a recommendation therein.
Okay, we look forward to that. In the meantime, perhaps our economists can explain why rice inflation accelerated instead of decelerated in the previous month. Why so? We were promised the opposite.
Expected. Kasi yung October of last year, we had a price cap. It was low. And now it's not price cap. So it's a basic plan.
Tumataas talaga bago mag-holidays.
Yung just that October last year.
Wala na po tayong ibabagsak. Nasa 15% na lang po.
Sa inflation pa lang muli.
Kung yan lang ang tanging solusyon natin, mukhang hindi uubre.
Mr. President, supposedly last October, last year, there was actually a price cap imposed by the
That's
government.
correct. Which also didn't work.
But it was lower than it is now. I mean, the inflation.
Yes, as a result, however, we all know that there was no rice available and traders were holding on to their warehouse supply and all sorts of artificial shortages were occurring throughout the country.
It's not expected.
Well, according to the NEDA secretary, the inflation right now is just a blip, and for the rice in particular, and they expect it to go lower.
It's almost double po.
Siya nagpa-promise
Kapitbahay
daw.
ko po yan sa Batac, Ilocos Norte.
Because October 2022,
It's a major blip po, halos doble. Kasi 5% namamayag pag sa 9.6.
October 23 daw, sobrang bagsak yung presyo ng rice dahil sa price cap. Ano last name?
Parang hindi yata.
So base effect daw.
Okay, but I don't think that's quite the truth. In the meantime, given that we can't seem to look forward to a better rice prices, nor can we be assured that there are any other solutions aside from artificially set price ceilings and very little wiggle room in 15% tariff rates. The other issue is how much is the projected tariff loss for the implementation of the lower rice tariff? I think the BOC has released estimates for the revenue loss. And I'd like to hear what those rates are assumed to be. Kasi maliban sa bumagsak na nga yung taripa,
Tumaas
ang
pa yung presyo.
problema, tumaas pa rin ang inflation at sa kabila nun, lugi pa tayo, bagsak din ang koleksyon. Kaya si Secretary Recto hindi matutuwa niyan. Kita natin, ang laki-laki ng binagsak o babagsak ng ating koleksyon ayon sa ating BOC. Magkano kaya ang revenue loss natin?
Magkano?
Anticipated under the new regime of 15%? Nasa 16 plus na eh. Ang nabasa ko po sa dyaryo, mula sa 28.477 billion, ang revenue loss natin, 16.344 billion, nasa 12.103 billion. Menos pa sa kalahati ito, mukhang 1/3 na lang matitira. Tama ba to? Di wala na tayong pamumudnot sa ating mga magsasaka. Di na nga nila mabenta, wala pa silang maaasahang tulong.
So we lose about 20 billion, 10 billion for the first 6 months, 9 billion for the first 6 months.
9B, first
Yeah.
6 months,
For a year, it's about 20 billion.
20 billion. It's getting bigger and bigger po. Nag-umpisa tayo sa 15B, nasa 16 and a half nung nakaraan. Ngayon na 20 billion na. Palaki ng palaki po to. So, ang balita ko, nangako naman si Secretary Recto na ipapasok sa GAA at yung kakulangan, siya na ang magpupuno. Tama po ba? Eh, saan kukunin yan? Kasi, parang palipat-lipat lang tayo ng pera nito. So, is the consideration therefore, hindi umuubra yung rice tariff reduction. Pag tuloy-tuloy pa to at hindi bumabagsak ang presyo ng bigas, ang ibig sabihin ba yung ating economic managers ay itataas na naman ang taripa sa 35% to cover the projected revenue loss? Kasi hindi naman pwedeng gaan ng gaay ang pupuno sa 20 billion na kulang.
Nevertheless, part of the plan is to talk to the appraisers, sure that they pass on the value.
Well, I guess the major plan is really to talk to the traders to make sure that they pass on the benefits.
Ang mahirap po, alam naman ng mga taga-Vietnam, taga-India, at sa kung saan-saan na nangangailangan tayo ng bigas. Kaya nagtataas din sila ng presyo. Sinasamantala tayo. Eh nakikita natin, pinapayaman natin yung mga magsasaka sa ibang bansa, samantalang kinakawawa yung magsasakang Pilipino. Tama po ba to? Hindi ba ikukonsidera ng ating mga economic managers na itaas na muli sa 35% at mapuno yung projected revenue loss?
At yun na nga mga kababayan, ano na ang masasabi mo? Kung mayroon kayong hinaingat komento patungkol sa balitang ito, please comment down below. Pag-uusapan natin yan sa comment section. At kung nagustuhan nyo ang video, ay huwag kalimutang mag-like at i-share na din para mas marami pang makaalam at umabot ito sa marami sa ating mga kababayan. Maraming salamat po!